Hey guys, well, are you ready for a Christmas DIY? I got a story. I always have a story. Okay, I'm going to use plaster of Paris, and this is a candy mold, okay? It's of a gingerbread and a package. I'm using the gingerbread. I was going to buy a cookie cutter because I can't find my big cookie cutter from last year, and the cookie cutter I had is probably a little bit bigger than this, but I didn't want to have to spend the money to get one since I did have this already. That's why I'm using the plaster of Paris, but nevertheless, it is going to be an adorable DIY. So what I'm going to do is I am going to get my plaster of Paris ready, and I have 1 part of cold water because it's 2-part plaster of Paris to 1 part water. But when you start working with this, you've got to hurry and work with it. You can't just wait around. Said you have to kind of hurry it up here and get it mixed, and it's really soupy in the beginning, believe me. When I was doing my Easter bunnies, do you remember? I don't know if you followed me on that, but I made some beautiful chocolate, what they look like is chocolate Easter bunnies, you know, that you buy to eat, but they're made out of the plaster of Paris, and I bought the candy molds. And when I started pouring it, I thought, oh my gosh, I did something wrong. Something isn't right. It's so, oh geez. It's too thin. Well, it's not too thin. That's the way it is. So I'm going to have to try to find something else to pour this plaster of Paris in, because I can tell it's probably going to be too much for this gingerbread. So I think what I'm going to do real quick, I also have, I'm letting this thicken up on purpose because they say you have about 10 minutes to work with this, so I would rather wait till it starts to thicken just a little bit. I think instead of the snowflake for now, I'm going to use my Martha Stewart. These are cupcake molds. And I think these could be cute painted. So I'll use that. Okay, this is starting to thicken up a little bit. It's not quite as thin as it was. I think I'm going to have to prop this up like I did my bunnies, and as a matter of fact, I know I'm going to have to. The bunnies that I did were huge, 14 inches tall, and it kept going down to one side, and I thought, oh my gosh, and when you're hurrying, knowing that this stuff's starting to set, so I realized that, oh, you know what, I have to prop this up because it's lopsided, so that's what I just did here. As soon as I make this, I will almost guarantee you I'll find my cookie cutter. But that's okay. And I'll leave this for 24 hours. Seeing that Easter DIY video that I did on that Easter bunny, check it out. They really turned out beautiful. So if you want to do those next year, you'll have plenty of time to get the mold. I'm going to start pouring these cupcakes. Because this is plaster of Paris, just like we used when we, I gotta stir this, it's thickening. Just like we did when we used to do our statuary painting back in the late 70s, early 80s. You remember that, ladies? was probably one of the first real crafts, if you will, where they had classes and you could go, just like scrapbooking now, exactly like that. And you used to go and you'd paint statuary in the stores where they sold it, and they'd have classes in the back. This was a perfect call for the rest of this, for these cupcakes. I think I'm going to have just enough, because there's 8 little cupcakes. So when you're doing a treat on your bar cart, or just as decoration for your bar cart or hutch, for a sweet look, you know, which I'm going to do in the near future. That worked out perfect, guys. Now I'm going to go outside with the hose. You never want to put this, you don't want to rinse this in your sink. All right, when this sets, I'll be back. Okay, you saw me pour these, and here they are. Now, if you don't want to do the cinnamon, you can do these. If you do want to do the cinnamon and just want a different kind of medium, like I do, I'm not going to use this side because my gingerbread, for the most part, aren't going to look like this. So I'm just going to leave them more primitive looking, and I'll probably put gingham bows on these. So let's take this one out of its mold. And again, guys, if you do use these molds, don't wash them thinking, oh, I'll use them for food. Buy a different one. Okay, so now both are out of the mold. And I like doing 2 when I'm doing things like this instead of just 1, so you can kind of pair them or have them kind of in the same area. Okay, now for the color, cinnamon is kind of this color, which is the raw sienna, but then I'll probably antique them. So let's just see what we have here. Okay, now this is a little bit lighter, not too bad, of what gingerbread would be. And also, let me say, plaster of Paris will suck up your paint like no other. So what you can do, if you want, you can put gesso on these before you start painting them with a color. But I'm just going to leave it as it is. And you don't have to get exact as the color of cinnamon. You know what I mean? It might be nice to have kind of a variation to some degree of color. And this dries extremely fast. This is almost dry already. So what I'm going to do is I'll just continue. I've got quite a bit here, so I'm going to start putting it on the other. I don't want to do the rim yet. I'm going to wait till this is all dry, and then I'll do the rim on the other side of it. You can also add a little bit of water, and that's not going to hurt anything. So you do have, and I tried to bring options to how you could do these. Expensive. Everything I have shown you, my brush is breaking. I'm trying to use it until the last, the last stroke. I've tried to bring you things that is readily available to you and that you could possibly have in your home. And the kids can also help you. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get these all painted, and then I'll be back. Okay, So now I have both of them painted, okay, and I'm just letting them dry, and then I may go over a second coat, but whatever I do, I'll end up using my satin acrylic to seal them. And here's the other one. So I'm going to leave them this color because it's pretty close to the cinnamon color, but I like having the variation to some degree. So when I'm done sealing them, we'll put the bows on. Okay, so I'm back with our plaster of Paris gingerbread. So what I'm going to do for them, I think I'll use the smaller ribbon, and I'm going to put that with some jute. Okay, hold on just one sec. Okay, so scissors. Just want to see how big I want this bow. All right, like I said, a lot of what I am doing in my kitchen is going to be in these colors and this look. And I might use like fabric and this, you know, it's going to intermix with one another. How cute is that? And that's just made out of plaster of Paris and a chocolate mold that you can get from Michael's, or well, that is where I got it actually, was Michael's. So there you go, there's one. Then I'm going to do the other one in green. And again, if you are doing yours more like, I don't know, shabby chic, whatever, use lace. I may use lace on one. I don't know. But you use whatever you want. If you want to put a face on them, put a face on them. That just isn't the look I'm going for this year. Okay, so there's the green one. And you know, but there's a red and a green. So, you guys, there is another DIY for a gingerbread, and you will see where I'm putting all of this in my Christmas home tour. Okay, guys, so here are the gingerbread that I made. And I made 5 to represent my 5 kids. So I am just going to thread the jute through the hole that I made so I can hang these on the tree in the kitchen. Okay. And I don't want a real big loop. I don't want it hanging down real far. Okay. And there you go. Okay, guys, here are the cinnamon ornaments with my kids' names on them, and I used a Sharpie white. It's an oil-based fine point pen. So here they are in order. Jason. Can you, I don't know if you can tell. Wait, let me do this. And then I put jute to hang them with. Jason, Tanya, Jeremy, Joshua, but I put Josh because he goes by Josh, and Daisha. So these will go on my tree. So I wanted to show you that as well. And then we will be back. Let's see, what do I have going? Well, I don't know. I guess I'll just surprise you. You guys, remember the world's a better place because you're in it. Don't ever, ever forget that. Talk to you soon, guys. Bye.